What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to a beautiful Tuesday and welcome to TD Fins Talk, baby. Yeah, what is that? That's pretty cool. All right, guys. Let me make sure I just get us straight. It's bright. It is bright out here today, man. This is TD Fins Talk, guys. We're gonna talk Miami Dolphins, the playoff picture this morning. Just dropped the little ones off to school and daycare and all that stuff, man. And how y'all doing this Tuesday morning, man? We early, we bright and early. Some of y'all on your way to work. Some of y'all took the kids to school. Some of y'all out here doing what you got to do yourself. You going to school. I hope y'all have an amazing Tuesday today. We're going to talk Tannehill. We're going to talk Miami Dolphins, playoff chances, what they look like right now, what the chances are, what we got in front of us, guys. What's up, Jersey Dolphins? Shout out to you, man. Good morning to you, too. Where's the sunglasses? You right. The sun is out. You are so right, man. That makes so much sense. I don't even straight in and talk about this, man. The Miami Dolphins playoff chance. First and foremost, to talk about the Miami Dolphins playoff chance, you got to talk about the Miami Dolphins first, okay? We have to, we got to figure out what record's going to get, what record's going to make it to the actual playoffs, okay? And it's kind of shaky. It's like, will any of the 5 or 6 teams that's fighting for the position, will any of them go 10-6? And it's scary. It's like, I don't see any of them lined up to go 10-6. I mean, from a realistic standpoint, if you look at the Dolphins schedule and what most would think, most would say Dolphins will end up, best case scenario, 9-7. I still say we end up 10-6, baby. We gonna Tannehill back. We got a little newfound energy. Gase done been shook up now. Gase done ruined the game for us for his passive play calling. So that's one thing that's actually a benefit, y'all. Now the media, that's the positive. Finally, the media is doing something positive for us, even though it's negative. They are ripping Adam Gase to shreds. They are ripping Adam Gase to shreds. I'm at a red light. Somebody say, why you got to be streaming while I'm in class? My bad, Alec. Hey, get them grades, baby. Get them grades. Get it done, man. But listen, they are ripping Adam Gase to shreds. They're talking about his play calling. The headlines are Adam Gase gets conservative in crunch time, and the Colts get aggressive, causing the Dolphins to lose. And at least the media recognizes that Adam Gase kind of blew this one for us, man. He blew it for us. But that's the plus for us. Because with Tannehill back looking good, the team's rallying behind it, playing hard football, I look for them to play just as good every week. But I look for a change in Adam Gase to be a lot more aggressive. He don't want that hanging over his shoulder. He knows he can't do that anymore. He knows he can't be all passive. He got to be aggressive, win, lose, or draw. And that's going to put a lot more pressure on Tannehill. But I'm telling y'all, I've been telling y'all this for a long time. Tannehill ready for that pressure. He wants that pressure. But for some reason, Adam Gase always take it from him. He takes that pressure from him. You know, I was listening to someone the other day. They were like, you know, at the end of the day, half the fan base don't know what if Ryan Tannehill's the quarterback for the future. Half of the fan base knows that he's the quarterback for the future. But it's moments like that that kind of locks it in and makes, you know, it brings us together, and Adam Gase ruined it. It would bring us so much closer together for him to put Tannehill in a great position, and if Tannehill screw it up, then we know we need to move on. If Tannehill makes it happen, then we know we got our guy. But he continues to blurry our future. And that was an opportunity for us to know. But let's talk about the Miami Dolphins, guys. I really do think we can win out. Buffalo, I maintain this, guys. That's 2 wins. Jacksonville, W. Patriots, we're going to shock the world, beating them at home. We play them tough anyway. It's not going to be the repeat of what happened when we went up to their home field. I might even go out on a limb to say they going to flip it. We might literally run through them. But that Vikings game, y'all, that's the big one to me, man. That's the one that should leave you like, man, this is a solid team. The record's right on par with ours, but they're still solid. They remind me of us. They remind me of us. Minus, without all the injuries. I mean, they probably got a few injuries, but without all the injuries. That's the game we got to show up and show out and earn our playoff spot, guys. But if we go 10-6, guys, there's no question we are going to the playoffs. The real question is, if we end up 9-7, is it going to be good enough? And the reason why we have to ask that question is because the two teams ahead of us, I'm not looking backwards. If you're behind us in the standing, right now, we're the third team looking out. We are 9th. No, we're the 8th team. We're 8. All right? We are the 8th team, y'all. But right now, Baltimore is number 6. The Colts are number 7. Miami Dolphins. Facts. Facts. Okay? Here's the beautiful part. Baltimore about to run up in Atlanta and get beat up on. Baltimore is about to run into Atlanta and get beat up on. And we're going to even the field when we beat Buffalo. The unfortunate part is the Colts are running into Jacksonville, which they, based off of the way that they've been playing, they should handle Jacksonville easily, giving them a leg up. I look for us to go, after next Sunday, I look for the standings to be the Colts in the 6th spot, the Miami Dolphins, you know what, the Ravens in the 7th spot, and the Miami Dolphins still in the 8th spot, but tied with the Ravens. After that, things get a little bit more chippy because the Colts then have to go deal with 2 tough opponents. One of them is the Dallas Cowboys. Who is that second one? Man, they got to play the Cowboys. And they got to play the Houston Texans. They got to deal with 2 other teams that's very hot right now. And I'm going to tell you now, if the Cowboys keep playing the way they playing, the Colts are not going to beat the Cowboys. That Texans game is going to be a huge game, but I think Texans will beat them out, but I ain't going to say it's a guarantee. But those 2 games can literally, if they do it there, you know what we think they would do, they're going to take those 2 L's, and that's going to leapfrog the Miami Dolphins where they need to be. But after those games, then we got to look at 2 games that we have to win, guys. I really believe our last 2 games, we're going to look them dead in the face. We got Jacksonville, then Buffalo. We're going to look those last 2 games in the face, and based off of everything that happened with the Colts and everything that happened with the Ravens, that week of our last 2 games going into Jacksonville, playing Jacksonville, we are going to know at that point, if we win these 2 games, we are guaranteed playoffs. Nothing the Colts can do, nothing the Ravens can do. I really believe we are going to go into the Jacksonville game controlling our own destiny. Our own destiny. 2 games left, 2 sorry teams, and we are going to control our own destiny at that point. If the Dolphins win out, they in at that point. And then we will actually see if the Miami Dolphins, man, I'm about to run into some bad traffic. I can see it up here, man. We will actually see, and I'm going to go on an alternate route. We can actually see if the Miami Dolphins are the same team they used to be. See, forget injuries at that point. Week 15 and 16, I don't care nothing about injuries. If we go into week 15 with this team right here, I don't want to hear nothing about the injuries anymore, about who we lost before. Because for me, At that point, it don't matter. At that point, it does not matter. We will find out in those last 2 weeks if we are the same old Miami Dolphin team. Every time you got a chance and nobody else, you don't even need help from anybody else. You control your own destiny. You screw it up by losing to Buffalo. You screw it up by losing to a Jacksonville who's just, I mean, their quarterback play is horrendous. You screw it up. And matter of fact, they hate on the Dolphins so much, but you're going to go into those games as the favorite. We should go into those games as the favorite, even though they hate the Miami Dolphins so much. But yet, will we be the same old Dolphins? See, all this other stuff about same old team, like people keep saying from these last few weeks, I don't want to hear all that crap, man. You talk about a team we developed, started 3-0. We were gelling. We had the talent. We had healthy people. We looked good. And all we could do is actually get better. We hadn't even reached our peak. We hadn't even reached our peak. And then we start losing some bad games and bad coaching and this and that, mistakes, and the same old Dolphins. No, I wasn't the same Dolphins. The injuries made us look like the same Dolphins, but we've actually improved on top of that. But one thing that's starting to be constant is the same coaching. And that got to change, Adam Gase. And I'm hoping that the media lighting a fire under you right now. You taking some fire. Adam Gase is taking some fire. I hope them lighting a fire under him right now forces him to be aggressive. Forces him on the 40-yard line to take the freaking field goal or even go for it. Go for the field goal or even go for the first down on the 40. Look at what I saw in that game last night by the Texans. Oh, I mean, on the 40-yard line with like 2 yards to go, hey, let's go for it. We're on the flip side of the field. Ain't no difference if we were backed up and we punted to the 40. Hell, we on the positive side. Let our defense do what they got to do if we don't make it. But you know what? We give ourselves 4 downs to get 10 yards. There's a good chance that we're going to get the other 2, even if we don't. And they got it. And they got closer and still stalled, but it was an easier field goal. However it has to happen. That's the type of stuff that's missing in Miami, guys. That's what's missing. That's what's missing. It's that aggressive 4th and 3 and you on the even sometimes, let me say that, even sometimes 4th and 3 and you're on the 45. Even on the 45. Even just out of field goal range. Even the 4th and 3. That's what's missing sometimes. You don't have to do it all the time because it wouldn't be smart to do it all the time. But there are some coaches that's like, let me spark my team. Let's go. Let's just do it. Let's see. And do you know what type of spark and pump that gives the team? It's huge, man. It cannot be replaced. That's the type of stuff that can't be replaced. You know how many years? I want y'all to really think back in the last 7 years that we had Tannehill. Do you know how many years that we actually look good on the football team, but teams going for it on 4th down, even 4th and 4 on us and getting it, and they get all these extra possessions and these extra chances? And it's like, wow, 4th and 4, and they get it. It's not easy to stop all 4 downs, y'all. You know the teams that's not successful going for it on 4th down is the ones that's always only going for it on 4th and 1, 4th and inches. And then they get stuffed in the run or something like that. Them the teams that aren't as successful in 4th downs. But the teams that's going for it on 4th and 2s and 4th and 3s, they actually a lot more successful. You know why? Because their mentality ain't into we got to get a half a yard. When you run a 4th down play and you're running a 4th and inches, you should treat that like it's a 3rd and 5. You should treat that like it's a 3rd and 3. But we don't have that type of mindset in our coaching staff, man. We have to change our mentality from we're going to play good, sound, solid football to we're going to play good, sound, solid, aggressive football. Aggressive. And the word aggressive doesn't just mean taking deep shots. The word aggressive means you're on the 40-yard line, 4th and 2, and hey, let's roll. Let's see what we can do. Let's get it. That's what that means, man. Put your quarterback in the shotgun. That's what that means. Just the reality, y'all. But listen, man. This is TD Fans Talk, y'all. The playoff picture still looks good for us. It's just amazing this year. Regardless of all the turmoil we've been through, how things have still been favorable for us. See, all people want to do in the world today is pay attention to the negatives. Pay attention to the things that are unfortunate. But look at all the fortunate things we've been able to have, guys. Hell, a 3-0 start was very fortunate. That's what has us having the foundation that we have right now, to even have a chance. Even all those individuals that say the season's over, they know deep down, yeah, we got a chance, but I just don't believe we're going to deliver. When they say the season over, realistically, they're not saying it's over numbers-wise. They're just saying, hey, I just don't think that we're going to actually perform to get it done. That's what they're saying. But they know the season's not over. They know we got a chance to actually still do something. They know that. They just don't believe we will. That's where the issue's coming from. They don't believe we will. But I am telling you guys, we should be thankful to even be in the position that we're in with the injuries that we've had. We should be thankful to be in that position. We should be thankful to have beat the Jets twice off of our defense. Didn't score a single offensive touchdown in that game, y'all. Jerome Baker, the only one on defense that scored a touchdown in that game. We should be thankful for these things. But we just constantly keep on bashing ourselves and paying attention to what we haven't done and what we haven't accomplished. We're still in it with everything we've dealt with. Man, our season, let's be real, y'all. Our season should have been over. One more loss back there, the Jets beat us, our season would have been over. We should be thankful. I'm not going to belabor that point. We should be happy in the position that we're in, dealing with what we've dealt with. But I'm not going to sit here and be no fool now. We should also be disappointed, because it's almost like we've been given a grand opportunity, and we could have very well have won 8 games by now. We could have very well been up 8 games. We've been given that much. That's what we got to be thankful for. The simple fact that we could have even had 8 games. Unfortunately, our execution, which we got to learn from, y'all. But I'm not disappointed at all. I'm actually happy, man. I'm happy with what our team is in our players. That's one thing we can say this year. We haven't had no Cutler-like attitudes on our team. We haven't had no guys quitting on us like that. We haven't had no scandals. We haven't had all the drama. We've at least been able to focus on football. We've at least been able to focus on football. Man, do you know how rare that is in our current climate? The Miami Dolphins' current climate? Do you know how rare that is? And those are positive signs, man. Somebody said, hey, TD, we got to go 4-1. I agree. We definitely do got to go 4-1. But I would like to go 5-0, baby. I would like to go 5-0, man. 9-7 still could be good enough to get us in. But I will say this. I mean, 9-7 is good enough to get us in. But I will say this, guys. We need to play our best football finishing this season out. Because the reality is, just to skate in and then it looked if we look rocky and we still get in, that doesn't satisfy me. That doesn't make me feel great. Because what, we want to go get bounced in the first round? We got to play our best football these last 5 games. And TD feel we can do it. I mean, see, y'all look at the L column from the Colts. I look at what we put on the field. Y'all should be proud about our players against the Colts. We know that our players, I mean, outside of penalties, y'all, we got to fix it. Man, we got to fix it. But I think we can put some games of discipline together and get that done. But outside of penalties, guys, you gotta be encouraged about what we saw with our players. We're one of the hottest, quote unquote, one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. We did our thing. We won that game. It's just we left with an L. We got stripped by our coach, man. Our coach stripped us of that one. But I got to stop talking about the Colts game and how our coach stripped us, because we moving forward onto Buffalo. On the Buffalo, who still hasn't figured it out, who has weeks where they look boo-boo trash to fool, and then other weeks where they're just like, the Buffalo's doing that to this team, looking dominant. Now, mind you, they looking dominant sometimes against boo-boo trash teams, but still, we can't go in there sleeping. I'm telling you, we come with the same intensity and focus, minus the penalties versus Buffalo. Listen, we come with the same intensity, focus, concentration that we did against the Colts, against anybody. Anybody. We gonna get a W, man. That's the team. We're a hurt team. That's the team that we want to see. What we saw on Sunday, man. Minus getting killed by decision making at the end of the game, minus the penalties. Oh, I can't say it enough, man. When is the Miami Dolphins gonna learn? When are we gonna get to a point to where we are actually disciplined and sound in what we do? Now, I do give the Colts fan base a little credit for a lot of those penalties, those false starts and things like that, because when they needed it the most, the Colts were loud in that stadium, y'all. If you were watching the game at home, you heard it through your TV, you heard it through your computer, you heard it through your phone. The Colts were loud. They were loud in that stadium, man. You got to give it to them. That also creates a lot of false starts and encroachments on the defense, unevaded. All of that, it creates a lot of that. But it has nothing to do with the personal fouls. It has nothing to do with pass interference. It has nothing to do with holding. Has nothing to do with those things. And you know what? Let me tell you something. I don't even be minding the false starts sometimes. What kills me are holding calls. Holding calls hurt the hell out of you. Them 10 yards are huge, man. Y'all ever think about that? Them 10 yards on holding, and don't let it be a first down. Oh, no. 10 yards? That 10 yards are huge, man. 1st and 20 is huge. 1st and 20 is huge, especially for a team like the Miami Dolphins, where the coach don't want to open it up and have many plays that go past 10 yards. Everything he wants is happening underneath, because we built the team that way. I don't mind it, guys, because Adam Gase's game plan is to throw things underneath and let our athleticism get yards after the catch. It's not a bad strategy. Brady's been using it for years. The problem is the weapons that we brought in to execute that have been hurt. The weapons that can get it done have been hurt. Y'all can't tell me Jakeem Grant isn't a master at it. You can't tell me Albert Wilson isn't a master at it. It's the reality, man. That's the team we built, and now we don't have the personnel to execute that game plan like that. So now in the middle of the season, we have to adjust our offense to cater to a more personnel-friendly offense. These are all the things the coaches have been working through, too. We just think it's, hey, run our same offense, we need to execute. No, I mean, coaches know certain players aren't good in certain situations, but we're expecting them to be. It's not realistic, y'all. It's just not realistic. So we don't have that type of offense. What was encouraging as well, I saw Tanny pull a few of those RPOs, run pass options, and ran it himself, and they were very successful. I would love to see more of that. But look out for a lot of that in Buffalo. You know we love doing that versus division rivals, especially against the Jets in Buffalo, and we love pulling it off. Ryan Tannehill is infamous for killing those two teams with the RPOs. Infamous for it. I love it. We shall see, man. Ryan Tannehill better hard count. I agree. We got him on the hard count a lot too. You're right. We got him on the hard count. Ryan Tannehill will bring it out to work. See, that's the stuff that goes unnoticed. A quarterback getting you on the hard count. A quarterback knowing how. And not only does Ryan Tannehill pull that RPO and get the yards, but that's not what's impressive about him running on RPO situation, run pass options. The impressive thing is he literally fools the hell out of the defender. You know how I know he fools the hell out of the defender? Because they literally commit to the running back and actually hit him. Ryan Tannehill keeps that ball in the stomach of the running back until the very last millisecond he can. The very last. And he literally fools the camera. He even fools me. I'm sitting there like, oh, he hands it off. Oh, he goes nowhere. Wait, the camera moving all of a sudden. He even fools the camera. People watching at home think the play is a wash and the play is still going. Ryan Tannehill runs a hell of a, but we don't even execute that a lot more. It's crazy to me. That's something that we need to consider as well. We don't even execute the RPO as much anymore. And the crazy thing is, we would be very successful at it, letting Juwan James, say we running the RPO to the right, because say we running it to the right. And Tannehill's better in the right than the left, in my opinion. But he can do it either way. But if we run it to the right, the coaches need to let Juwan James let his man beat him around the corner. And then Juwan James pick up that linebacker at that second level. That defensive end is gonna crash down on Gore Drake, like they always do. Ryan behind Juwan James, receivers to the right are blocking well. Man, Ryan pick up 10+ yards every time, or a good 7-8 to slide if the safety's coming downhill fast enough. We don't do it enough. It's a safe play. Not only is it a safe play, it gets them, and then it keeps them honest. Because then whenever the end starts wondering, is he gonna keep it or not, it's too late because he gonna hand it off and Gore or Drake's gonna bounce right through. We need a little bit more of that going. We need an identity on offense. If y'all really think about it, we ain't even got an identity. We don't even have an identity. First 3 games we balled out, but we still don't even know what our identity was. Some things worked, some things didn't. The next game, those things that worked last time didn't, and the things that didn't work the time before that worked. You know? And then we thought we started having an identity with the Bears game when Tannehill was out with Osweiler to his strength throwing bubble screens. They're killing the other team. And then the next 3 games, I see the other team running the same exact defense. Same exact defense, and guess what? We didn't run a single bubble screen. But we always did some freaking trips right or trips left. It amazes me. We didn't run a single bubble screen in like 2 games after we were killing the Bears with it. You know, I think Gase overguesses himself. I think Gase went out of that Chicago game and said, you know what? This next game, they're going to look out for that bubble screen. So I'm not going to run it at all. I'm going to give them that 3 wide receiver look, though, so they got to worry about it. Gase, run it anyway. They still, if the Bears couldn't stop it, take the chance and find out if the next team can stop it. Every time you told Osweiler to throw a deep ball, you should have ran a bubble screen because the deep ball was a freaking wasted play. You know what? Every time you told Osweiler to run a play where he had to throw deep, you should have been experimenting with plays that wasn't deep. You should have been experimenting with little wrinkles. Those plays should have been substituted by other things. It's crazy, man. I don't know why it's starting to come back to coaching almost every time now. This is not getting good for Adam Gase, y'all. It's starting to, the conversations are starting to go back to coaching more and more now. I sat there for half the season defending Tannehill, rightfully so. Hopefully some of y'all believe that now, rightfully so. And now the real culprit's starting to come out. Because it's Tannehill not executing the coach's game plan and doing very well, might I add. I mean, even on the dumb call for the play action screen. Oh my gosh, I can't get over that play. Even for the dumb call with the play action screen, Tannehill executed. It was a complete pass. I mean, what do you want him to do? Some of y'all been talking lately, well, why doesn't Tannehill come to the line and change the play? because this is Adam Gase's team. That's how Adam Gase wants it. And then on top of it, I said this last night, I would feel better for Tannehill to do exactly what Gase tells him to do. Because then Gase has a scapegoat when Tannehill goes up there, sees that they're playing quarters. You know, I need, because I mean, Tannehill was right. They were playing quarters. They were playing quarters. So the play that was called originally, he had to run the ball. He couldn't audible into many other things, because this is what Adam Gase, I think, gives Tannehill. Based off of an interview I heard earlier this year, this is how I think it works. Tannehill has the freedom to audible, y'all. But let me help y'all understand what freedom he has. I think it'll be good to explain if I give you the difference between Brady and Tannehill. Brady audibles. Brady has the full playbook to his disposal to audible. Tannehill audibles. Gase tells Tannehill, if I call this play and they're in this defense or that defense, here are the 3 plays I want you to audible to. Nothing more, nothing less. You see what I mean? He don't have the full disposal of the playbook. And I'm going to be fair to Tannehill, y'all. What we would all love is for Tannehill to be Marino. And what I mean by that, somebody made this comment the other day, yesterday in the comment section, and I want to repeat it because you're right. Marino would have been under center with Gase. He would have got that run call. Marino would have stuck his middle finger at Gase and threw that ball 30 yards deep. And that's what we want Tannehill to do. But to be fair to Tannehill, y'all, he can't do that. And I'm not saying that he can't do it physically, because he can very well do that. But based off of how things has gone in his career, and based off of all the injuries, and based off of never had an O-line, he hasn't earned that status to be respected to do it. And what I mean by that, some of y'all might say, well, you got to take it, TD. You got to do it anyway and take it. But with this team, with a depleted, with injuries, not 100% health, if he takes that chance and it bombs, now you got rift and turmoil in the locker room to find his scapegoat. He gonna be right in front of that press conference. Be consistent and disciplined as a team. You know, when a play is called, we gotta execute that. We can't just, call a different play. We can't just run. And then he gotta smooth it over as if he's not talking to Tannehill, but we get to writing through the wall. You can't just, switch up the play and call what you want. You can't just run whatever route you want. He'll kind of affect it by saying routes like his receivers and all that. But we know what's happening. And then the people that don't like Tannehill, they really in uproar now. And then we already know what the end of the future's going to hold. We're going to get rid of Tannehill. We're going to re-up Gase. And then we're going to get somebody new, and the same crap going to be happening. And Gase going to buy himself another 2 or 3 years until we finally realize what the problem was. We finally realized who the problem was. So Tannehill can't do that, y'all. He can't own it and be like, I'm going to be Marino, say, forget you, I'm going to run this. Not with this. Now, if he had all his weapons full team, Tannehill has to own moments like that. But then we could also argue if he had his full team, Gase might not even call that kind of play. I don't know. It's just these injuries, man, is so much to factor in. But one thing that there's no excuse about is that play call, though. No, we're not going to make an excuse for Gase. Ain't no excuse. 3 horrendous play calls at the end of the game. And when I say 3, I'm talking about the drive before that play action screen where it was 3rd and 10 and we give it to Drake and he lose like 12 yards and we thought he was out for the season because he was hurt. Terrible call. And then you come back and do it again on 3rd down? After you already screwed it up on 1st down with a play action screen to the same guy you play action to in a game where the defense feels that, hey, they're going to go in run mode to run the clock, so we got to stop this run. The play action, everybody coming downhill to stop the run, they realize it's a pass, and they didn't even back out. They were like, oh, we already beat on the pass. I'm drooling at the mouth. Man, I'm going to keep repeating this. I'm going to keep repeating this because I can't believe it, y'all. I was drooling at the mouth. The play action looked so beautiful. I've never seen a defense sucked in so hard in my life. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. And when I saw that, I start drooling, man. I was just salivating at the mouth, just like, oh my gosh, this is about to be the best play I've ever imagined. Something across the middle or something deep is about to go down because everybody committed. But the play was designed to run a screen. Play action screen. That play would be fine in the first or the second quarter where it's not crucial, where the team knows you're running the ball. And come on, that play would not be, that play is not for fourth down and you're up by 10. It's a play, y'all. Ain't nothing wrong with a play action screen that's executed quick play action, and Tannehill did it right. He didn't sell the run fully, because on a play like that, you got to play action, but you got to be quick to turn around so the defense can go like that, be like, oh, and then they can hurry up and back out. They actually have a chance to feel like they recover. Because if you really want to do a play action, you got to extend that ball, keep it out there, let the defense commit, and then pull it and turn around the pass. But Tannehill did it perfectly. He headed the ball, came out, showed him a look. Showed him a throwing look, and Tannehill's eyes was up, his head was up high, looking deep. That's what he's supposed to do as a quarterback. But given the game time situation, none of the mechanics matter because they are going to sell out on a run. And did they sell out on a run? All three linebackers found a gap, and they were already in the gap. They already had their gap picked out, and they were already so close to filling it. But the play was designed to come right back to the running back, who caught the ball, turned around, and saw nothing but clutter. Went forward to try to get back to the line of scrimmage. I don't even know if he did, y'all. That's fully on the coaches. I don't expect a typical fan or anybody to understand that play, because a lot of people watch the play with like, oh, a screen. Oh, they killed that screen. No, it's bigger than them. That screen had nothing to do with them. It wasn't their defense. It was our call to even call that. In a game that the real coaching would recognize in the fourth freaking quarter, up by 10, you have to understand the behavior of a play. The behavior of a play. What does this play make a defense do in this part of the game? That's real coaching. That's getting really in depth and deep with understanding offense. That tells me Gase has his clipboard and all he's doing is looking at plays. You know what? Let me try this. I don't know if this will work, but let me try it. It's a play. See, he's the type of coach that says any play should work if you execute it. Any play should work if you execute it. That's the type of coach he is. Do y'all know that that's a lie? That is a lie. They've been selling that to people for a long time. Any play will work if everybody executed. That is a lie. You have to understand the behaviors of a play. What behaviors does this play make the defense do? What behaviors does it make them do? And in that dumb play call, the behaviors of that play said, see, a normal day, oh, they get faked and they back out. And we hit them right there, and then we catch them going backwards, and now they got to rotate, and it helps our blockers get on them easier. But the behaviors change depending on when in the game. The behaviors change depending on what part of the game. And in the fourth quarter, down by 10, 7 minutes of start running the ball. So it don't matter what the scheme looks like. I see a ball out there and the running back and the whole O-line coming that way. It don't matter. We have to stop the run because it's likely that they will. Behaviors, man. You know, another thing in that play that had a lot to do with behaviors. Now, this one is on the players, y'all. This one is on the players. This one's on the players, y'all. You know how in the NBA, they be like, you got to know in the last 2 minutes the game time situation. You know situations like, all right, it's 12 seconds to left. It's 12 seconds left. The ball game is tied. LeBron got the ball in his hands. He's dribbling the ball. He's waiting on it to get down to 4 seconds, and then he's just going to go. We get to 5 seconds, and the defender runs up to LeBron, and he fouls him. You know all those people that say, oh my gosh, how stupid can you be? Why would you foul him? Those are the same people that don't know basketball. And then 20 seconds later, the commentator says, oh, that was a smart play. They had a foul to give. Do you know how much better it is for them to have the last shot with 4 seconds instead of having the last shot with 12 seconds? That's situational basketball. First off, they got to inbound it. If you play that good, they got to inbound it back, and now the player got to come forward. All those things matter. In football, the same thing happens, y'all. When Andrew Luck escaped that pocket and he threw that deep ball, the one thing I can say about NFL players, and y'all don't get on me, but this is just the truth. They don't think the game through good enough. And what I mean by, and some of y'all will disagree with this and say, TD, you never give a team points. TD, you never give a team points. But we already know when he caught that deep ball, looking at the clock and looking at we got one timeout, they're already in field goal range. They're going to run it out and they're going to have the last chance. We want to hope that they miss it. But come on, y'all, we already knew what time it was in this NFL. Yeah, they miss it sometimes. But do you know statistically, with that 1 minute and 41 seconds left that we saw on the clock, statistically, we got a better chance. Statistically, we got a better chance of just when he caught that ball, instead of chasing him and tackling him, we got a better chance letting that man run in the end zone and scoring that touchdown and having a chance to come down the field and score a touchdown on our own instead of letting them kick a field goal. Now, don't get me wrong. This is the NFL. You don't give up points and you don't take that chance either way. But do y'all know statistically, you got a better chance to let the man. Hey, when I played Madden, I used to do it all the time. When I played Madden, I used to do it all the time. I know it's Madden, y'all. It ain't the real deal, but it's still logic, guys. Statistically, you got a better chance. We tied up. The person finna score on me there in field goal range. Sometimes I'll pick a all-out blitz on 3rd and 8, knowing that he's gonna hit his guy. He's just gonna throw it real quick and he gonna run in for the touchdown. They don't be knowing that. And then they go get the field goal, and I come down there, do what I know I can do, score the football. And I go for the 2 to win. You know how it is, man. And I go for the 2 to win. Situational football, y'all. It's the reality, man. Whoa, she almost hit me. Guys, listen, man. That's what's missing. The smarts, the IQ players. The players that get it, man. The NFL is all about athletes. We don't think about the high IQ athletes. We always reserve that to the quarterbacks. We always reserve that for the quarterbacks. I mean, people don't look for high IQ athletes, man. They just look for the athlete and tell them, do your job. Man, this league is so much bigger than that, man. It's bigger than that. But the Miami Dolphins, we still, in my opinion, we control our own destiny. In my opinion, we control our own destiny. We controlled it versus the Colts, and man, we gave ourselves a negative ticker on it, man. A negative tick mark. It's not cool, man. It's just not cool. Ugh. But we move on. Here we got Buffalo, y'all. Here we got Buffalo, man. We gotta be Buffalo, man, because we're better. We're one of the better teams, y'all. We can't sit here and fold like that and think that, oh, man, ain't nobody in that locker room better not think the season is over. They should be encouraged about how Tannehill played. What's crazy is I don't even know how Tannehill was 17 for 25. I don't even see where them 8 complete incompletions came from. I know one of them came in one of them last drives where they were playing the sticks. That was understandable. I know another one came on a play action where the man was right in his face. He had to hurry up and throw it away. And he had another throwaway early in the game that was smart of him, actually. I get those 3, but those other 4, the game that I watch, is even hard for me to even remember the incomplete passes he had, which is crazy. It's hard for me to even remember it. I mean, he was playing so well, it just seemed like he was so money. Every time he threw that ball, it seemed like it was something good out of it. It's just making me miss in my head the incompletes that we had. And I'm going to watch the replay today, probably twice, to understand what I saw. But man, we didn't even see Devontae Parker. I mean, he was on the field. I think he had 1 catch across the middle, but no explosive stuff. But y'all also got to understand, somebody said y'all happy about Tannehill having 206 yards. Y'all got to understand, man, we played a good balanced game. We ran the ball well, and we threw the ball well. Were we consistent at running the ball? No. Even in crunch time, even with them filling them gaps, there were times, even series before that, we didn't run the ball, y'all. We didn't run the ball. All day, the coach could not stop us. We were killing ourselves with penalties, but y'all saw from an offensive execution, they could not stop us. And then Gates goes up by 10 and gets nervous. He gets nervous, y'all, and he plays it safe. He plays it safe instead of getting aggressive. Don't get it. Don't get it, man. We got to fix it. We got to fix it fast. The beautiful thing is we can fix it. We will fix it. We're going, I mean, Buffalo coming to us. And I like that. It's going to be a home game. Get the troops rally. We're going to end up 6-6. 6-6. And then the Patriots coming. The Patriots coming in, right? Yeah, I believe so. The Patriots coming in. They got to come on down to Miami. We ain't got to travel nowhere. We sitting home for 2 weeks, y'all. We sitting home. That's a huge plus, man. Nah, I don't think Gates should be fired, man. Not yet. Coaches got to develop and learn too, y'all. We ain't going to be 100% happy with Gates right now. But don't think that Gates won't learn from it. He's getting scrutinized by the media right now. What if next week we up by 10 and you see Gates being hey, calling the deep pass, putting the ball in Tannehill's hand, learning from his mistakes. We're not gonna give him credit, but TD recognizes those type of things. If he can do that next week and understand this is what it takes, you might even see stuff like this. Might even show you a different Gates going forward. You might see a different Gates going forward. You got to understand, these things, they happen, y'all. Early in the season, some teams lost the game by making dumb calls like not kicking the game-winning field goal when they were right there to do it. Going for it at the end of a game, going for it instead of kicking the field goal. I've seen teams do that. You will win if you kick this field goal. But you say you want to go for it on 4th and 1 since it's 30 seconds left and you don't want to give them the ball back or something. I don't know. It's crazy. Coaches do stuff like that. When it works, we praise them. When it don't, somebody would that coach that went for that touchdown instead of just kicking what their fan base would have been doing was saying, see, y'all so sorry we disrespected y'all and didn't even go through for the field goal. We knew we can get a touchdown. See, y'all see what I'm talking about? We get so cocky when we win from these things. We don't say that was stupid. I don't care. We should have still went for the field goal, even though we won. We don't say that. We go with it when we win. We go with it when we win. But when we lose on it, boy, we give them hell. We give them hell, y'all. But we can't be, man, we got to understand football and just stick to facts of what's good, what's not, what should be done, what shouldn't be done. Y'all hear TD say it all the time. Even though this worked, or even though that worked out, we still shouldn't have never did it. That's not smart. We gotta start making the decisions, even as a fan base, smart decisions, not impulse decisions. Everybody want Gase fired right now. Yeah, hey, that's y'all being reactive. Y'all being reactive to what just happened. Not realizing Gase gone right now, man, you could be asking for hell for the next 10 years just by him being gone. I mean, just imagine, y'all. Let's just say we don't do nothing this year. Just say we come back next year, ball out, and win a Super Bowl. You think y'all gonna remember in y'all head the year before how you wanted them fired? No, you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna make an internal excuse for yourself and say, see what happens? We got our weapons. You're gonna forget all that stuff you were talking about. That's why you can't make those decisions. You're going off of the results you just saw and want something to change right away. But things don't move that fast. That's the problem with life now. Everybody wants change right away instead of realizing that everything still takes work to make the change, just like it was back in the day. Back in the day, everything took time to see the difference. But now we have the internet era, y'all. We have the internet era. We want things to change like that right away. We want it now. The internet gives us instant gratification. So everything about our life, we treat as if it should be instant. Gase sucked today. Fire him now. Like, man. What if Bill Belichick did the things that Gase did yesterday? Nobody would say anything. And I know y'all, we always come with that argument, but he's earned it. Yeah, but you also got to give people some time to earn stuff too. Somebody said this good fact the other day too, because I think Breeze is a Hall of Famer. He's one of the upper echelon elite quarterbacks in NFL history. He's earning that. But people forget, somebody reminded me the other day, people forget Breeze ain't win more than like 7 games in his first 3 years. In his first 3 years. Didn't have the things around him. The O-line, the weapons, all that. Unfortunately, the Dolphins has been longer. And then y'all say we could have had Drew Brees. Do y'all see that? Breeze ain't win more than like 7 or 8 games in his first 3 seasons. And we talk about we should have had Breeze. Do y'all realize why he didn't win more than 7 or 8? Because he ain't had no line, no weapons. And then he finally got weapons. What good would he have done in Miami? The first 3 seasons, he wouldn't have had no weapons. It would have been the same. Oh, he not getting it done. But then after that, we still ain't have the stuff around him and no weapons. Still ain't have it. It'd have been like Drew Brees' first 6 seasons. He couldn't win over 8 games. That's why I keep telling y'all, y'all be like Tannehill. Talk about we could have had Breeze. Drew Brees wouldn't have been Drew Brees if he would have came to Miami. Y'all need to understand that. That's why I will go down punching, talking about how Tannehill ain't waste our last 7 years. We done wasted that man's 7 years. If Breeze was here, it might have been the same debacle. But unfortunately, he wouldn't have been the same Drew Brees, so we wouldn't have never knew. We would have been treating Drew Brees like Tannehill. Now, I'm not saying Tannehill is, okay? Please don't get on me. I'm not saying Tannehill is Drew Brees. But he would have not been Drew Brees. And we would have been sitting here like, man, I think we need to move on from Drew Brees. It's been 7 seasons. And did Drew Brees have any injuries in any of his years, y'all? We know he did. We know he did. With the O-line that we had, he probably would have had more. Man, Brees always hurt. I mean, we pick and choose who we want to put this on. I want y'all to put Brees in the same situation, man. Put him in the same situation. Breeze in Miami would have been great. Yeah, it would have been great until it wouldn't have been great. I mean, don't ignore the facts. Drew Brees, his first 3 years. His first 3 years. Couldn't even win 8 games. Don't ignore that, y'all. Why this man couldn't win 8 games? It's Drew Brees, right? That goes to show you When you ain't got the team around him ready for that elite quarterback, that's what they look like. And Drew Brees could have looked good through them 8 years. Did it matter? He had the same story as Tanny. Can't get him to the playoffs. The difference is the Saints start investing money on getting him the best one of the best offensive lines in the league. He already short, y'all. And this is the fact, Drew Brees, he tells you himself, when he hikes the ball, he's a quarterback, he has to keep his chin so he can see everything. Because the linemen are so much taller than him. He's one of the shortest, if not the shortest, one of the shortest quarterbacks in the NFL. He would have not been Drew Brees. He just would not have been. And in Miami, he would have dealt with the same situation for his first 3 years. But do you know the difference? Drew Brees ain't have to worry about his offensive line bullying people because of their sexual orientation. Grown men worrying about another man's sexual orientation. Grown men worrying about another man's sexual orientation. That's that man business. Y'all out here making millions worrying about somebody else. Bullying the man. Bullying the man. Drew Brees ain't had to worry about that. Drew Brees ain't had to worry about all those suspensions. Drew Brees ain't had to worry about all the domestic violence, things like that. That's what I'm trying to say, John. We didn't get Brees, Warner, none of those guys, so let it go. Because people just keep bringing that up about, man, we could have had Drew Brees. But what I'm trying to paint, the picture I'm trying to paint to y'all is Drew Brees would not have been, even though that man is a bad man, he still wouldn't have been Drew Brees on this team. Look at the personnel that's been around him, man. Y'all don't get that. That's why I give Tannehill the passes I do. Do y'all understand if Tannehill was playing for the Chiefs? He may not look like Alex Smith, but he would have had so much better numbers than he got. Tannehill in New England. He wouldn't have looked like Brady, but it still would have been playoff worthy. Trying to educate y'all on this, man. Y'all point fingers at the wrong people, not understanding this ain't the NBA where one player can impact the game just on a hot streak. Brady can be as hot as he wants. Brady can be Phillip Rivers the other day, 28 or 29, right? Something like that, right? Broke the record. Broke Tannehill's record, might I add. Man, broke Tannehill's record. But let a receiver drop a ball. Let the receiver, he threw a deep 2 for a completion, not get off the block. I mean, get off the bump and run early. Let the offensive line give more pressure. He got to throw. That record doesn't belong to Phillip Rivers. It belonged to a team that executed the hell out of football on Sunday. That's all I'm trying to express to y'all. Stop looking at the football is the ultimate team sport, y'all. The ultimate team sport. You put Miami Dolphins offensive line on the Chargers, I can guarantee you he wouldn't have broke Tannehill record. TD, you know that Ryan can throw deep on the dime, man, when he has the time. I know that, but do the haters know it? Do the haters know it, man? They know it too, but that's what hate is about, man. It's ignoring what's right. You know what? That's so appropriate. That's what hate is. Ignoring what's right just to, in some cases, ignorantly not be wrong. I think that's a good definition for hater. Intentionally ignoring what's right just so you can ignorantly not be wrong. I think I like that. That's what a hater is. I got to remember that. Intentionally ignoring what's right so you can ignorantly be right. Man. Get off Tannehill topic and please reevaluate Tannehill and listen, he's garbage. He's not the worst, but he's not a game changer. That's Pete says that. So how does Tannehill help you lose, Pete? Let's do that. How does he help you lose? If he's not the game changer, I guess what I'm saying is, how can he change the game? Yes. That's what I want somebody that don't believe in Tannehill. I want to know right now, what Tannehill, let's take yesterday's game. What could he have done to have changed that game? Because he's not a game changer. You know, TD not a opinion person, in my opinion, of the highway. I'm open to Tannehill sucks. How about that? I'm open to Tannehill sucks. But you got to explain it to me. That's just common. See, a lot of people don't like to do that. They'll say something, but they don't, and I'm not talking about you, Pete, but I'm saying people will say something, and when you respectfully say, explain that to me so I can try to agree. That way I'm giving you the utmost respect. Let's take yesterday's game. How could he have been the game changer? That's what I want to know. You might say something and be like, man, you're right. You're right. But that's what I always look for. I'm not closed-minded. I'm not TD know what he talking about, otherwise you stupid. No, that ain't me. I may feel that way sometimes, but I don't express it because I'm shocked sometimes. Sometimes people educate me. But unfortunately, people can't reciprocate that. They can't open their mind to listen to the facts of why what they're saying is wrong. Why what they're saying is wrong. They won't open their mind. And the crazy thing is, what's being said to them, they know is true. Sometimes, hey, it goes back to the definition of a hater now. Knowing something, but literally ignorantly ignoring it. Just so you're right. But I need to know that, though, from anybody. Anybody that thinks Tannehill is suck and he's not a game changer, I need you to help me real quick and tell me what Tannehill can do to have changed that game yesterday. I'm open for it. I am. But I need somebody to tell me. It's been long enough. Let me see if anybody got anything. No, nothing. Okay, Tanny is fine. It's the calls to in that 5-8 minutes of a game that Gase. Yeah, that's Gase. I'm still trying to see. Somebody can answer to me. If someone can answer how he could have changed that game, because I think we care about that these days. In my opinion, he was a game changer yesterday. He did what Osweiler couldn't do yesterday. That's what you call a game changer. You are crazy if you don't think this man didn't change the game yesterday. He helps us lose by not changing the plays at the line of scrimmage. Oh, so, he helps us lose. Helps us lose. Let me break that down. He helps us lose by not changing the play at the line of scrimmage. The play that the coach called. And if he does play it and the players don't execute it, they're going to say it's him anyway. I thought we just talked about this, guys, where it's actually smart for Tannehill to execute exactly what Gase tells him to do. And a matter of fact, Tannehill already, he told you in his press conference, he considered changing the play. But based off of what the coach gives him, they were in quarters defense. So what is given to him to change it to is not a good look. It's terrible. Are we really going to put Gase's job on Tannehill? Not calling the right plays at the line of scrimmage. You know this team is depleted. He could have called a play. It's not the guarantee that this team was going to show up and get it done. And then if they didn't get it done, and you heard Adam Gase say, you know, we audibled out of that play. I didn't like the audible. You know, we got to be better in our audible calls. We would have been ripping Tannehill to shreds today. Even though he had in one play. Do you know how that's how quick it is people want to pounce on Tannehill? That's how quick people want to pounce on Tannehill. And after having a good game for this team, giving them the spark that they needed, you can definitely see the difference between Osweiler and Tannehill, and that's what I call a game changer, because he did change the game. You know what you get with Osweiler? Osweiler would have not given us that game yesterday. Oh, no. You're crazy if you think he would have. That's what I call a game changer. But we would have been ripping this man to shreds had he went to that line of scrimmage, changed the play. It didn't work. He could have even threw a perfect ball and the receiver could have dropped it. Just hypothetically say that. If Gase would have came on that podium, I called one play. Tannehill felt like he should have ran that play, and it didn't work. We would have ripped Tannehill a new one. A brand new one. We would have ripped him a new one, used it, and ripped him a whole nother new one. This man can't win for losing. Tannehill should go to the line and do the exact play that Gase called. First of all, what we need to ask is, why was that called? Why was that called in the first place? That's where the root cause comes from. Why was that called in? Forget the audible. I mean, tell me you got a comeback route and they playing the sticks, and then he should have audible. But why was that play called in the first place? Come on, somebody try again, man. Somebody else give me something what Tannehill don't do. Gase didn't call the play right. It just didn't happen. Gase didn't call the play. It just didn't happen. Action. Look at the situation, John. The defense is going to come for the run no matter what. You play action screen to where the defense is already heading. A screen is literally designed to make you think it's a pass and you dump it off and you got all kind of lanes. The running back's like, I got 1 lane, 2 lane, 3 lanes. Which one should I choose? Lineman headed up the yard that the linemen didn't even, guys, they were pursuing the run so that the linemen were letting the defenders go, but the defenders weren't going past them. They were headed to the side to where the run was going. On the screen, the lineman's supposed to block and then let them beat them. They're supposed to block and let them, like, make it look like they're getting beat. Do you know the lineman blocked, kind of let up, but the defense was headed towards the run? It was a terrible call, only because of game situation. 7 minutes left. You're up by 10. It's time to run the clock. Do you know it's teams that get the ball with 7 minutes left up by 10 and the other team don't even touch the ball? Don't even touch the ball. They run the full clock out. Situational common sense. They are going to try to stop the run. Same thing we do when the ball game is tied. When we are 3, when we're down by 7 and it's 5, 6 minutes left. You can see Kiko now. They jittery. Oh, man. Okay, I'm going for this run. It's common sense. Gase called the wrong play, man. It is impossible for him to get a pass. That was the wrong play. Situational football, that was the wrong play to call. Wrong play. And don't let it be one of those things we're talking about, oh, any play will work if the players execute. Well, how about being down by 5 and you on your own 20 and got to go 80 yards and you run a sweep? How about that? And the defense not even in prevent. How about that? Is it not the wrong play? Come on, man. Oh man, playoffs. That's right, we go into the playoffs. I reading this title right. Yeah, early in the video we were talking about our playoff opportunity, and we looked at the teams ahead of us as in the and the Ravens, and why it's still favorable for the Miami Dolphins, man. Let me see what y'all talking about, because I done got behind, guys, so I'm gonna skip some of these. You will never hear Tannehill carry win. But you know what, Pete? If we would have had the right play calls yesterday and all it took was one completion by Tannehill, all the headlines, Tannehill carries the team to a victory. Am I wrong, y'all? Am I wrong? Tannehill gets a first down right there. Tannehill gets a first down, and we keep running the ball. Am I wrong? The headlines with Tannehill coming back, Tannehill carries his team to a victory. I'm not wrong. The reason why Tannehill will never carry his team to a win, Pete, is because the coach will take it from him. David says we would be fools to get rid of Tannehill in the offseason. A lot of people don't get that, David, because Gase is a head case. Maybe Tannehill would have been great in the 80s, but in the new NFL, quarterbacks needs to pass and pass and pass. It's so funny. It's funny to me that we think quarterbacks need to pass. We didn't need to pass yesterday to win the game. We didn't need to pass in game 1. We didn't need to pass in game 2. We didn't need to pass in game 3. Technically, with the Bengals game, we didn't need to pass. Because one of the strongest suits that's been keeping us in this game, in our games, has been Frank Gore and his running. A lot of these games we should have won. We didn't need to pass. Penalties and stupid play calls killing the game. You don't need to. You just need to be a good football team. If you're executing, and that's another thing y'all don't realize, our good balance runs the clock a lot. It makes it a shorter game for the other team. That's a strategy in itself as well. I mean, we can sit here and think this is a pass league, but at the end of the day, you can control the tempo of the game if you're executing your plays right. And you know what? I'll even be fair to say this. Tannehill's more accurate than 65% of the NFL anyway, quarterbacks. In a pass situation, I'm going to tell you now, like I said, if Tannehill was the quarterback of the Patriots, no, he wouldn't have been Brady, but it would have been a whole lot better. I think they would have actually been satisfied with their quarterback. Tannehill would be a 300-plus yard per game quarterback. You can disagree all you want if you do. I'm not saying he's Alex Smith. I'm not saying that he's Tom Brady, but he will look a lot better behind those lines with those weapons and with their coach's aggressiveness. That's the big thing, is what I'm talking about. With their coach's aggressiveness, Tannehill would be so much better than what he is right now. Put the ball in Tannehill's hand all game, man. Do you know Tannehill had 0 picks yesterday? About him. But yet, look at the quarterback in the league yesterday threw a pick. I mean, Sunday. See, we only want to, it's a shame that we want to beat up on our own family like that. Not actually looking at what he's doing is pretty typical around the league. Tannehill's numbers was better than Dak Prescott's, and they had an impressive victory. Impressive victory. But they had some extra, this was one of the few times they had some good execution and great play calling. Throws a rope to TD to save him. Gase needs to reset his thinking. He is outsmarting himself. I agree. I think Gase is a very smart guy. But I think he's trying to, he's not realizing it's actually more simple than he's thinking it. I think he's overthinking it. He's trying to be you know what's crazy? I think he tries to show his guru-ness. It's almost like 3rd and 10, I'm going to run the ball. When I pick it up, they're going to think I'm a genius. Because he gets all enamored with Frank Gore bailing us out of a 3rd and 21. Frank Gore bailing us out at the end of another game early in the season, 3rd and 9 or something like that. Y'all remember that? That's what he gets enamored in. Feeling like, you know, I felt like this would be a good play to call. It's worth. He's overthinking it, man. We have no run game. How are we going to win passing 25 times? Pete, first of all, I disagree with the run game. We actually have a very good run game. The problem is we haven't been consistent running the ball. Go look at Frank Gore's averages per carry. It might actually shock you, Pete. Osweiler's attempts were high. You know why he audibles to a safe. You know why? He audibles to a safer play. Oh, Pete, man, are you doing this to yourself right now, Pete? First off, we do got a run game, okay? Osweiler's attempts were high. You know why? He audibles to a safer play. Attempts versus completions are two different things, Pete. Attempts versus completions are two different things. Osweiler's attempts are high because he's audibling out of one thing going into the pass. But you're calling it a safer play, but not with Osweiler because he's not completing them. We can't get caught up on the 1 or 2 games where he would dink and dunk and it looked good. He couldn't complete them because Osweiler trash. But come on, you know. Okay. They would have been talking about our defense and turnovers. Ravens, Bengals, Titans, then 2 losses by the Colts were in look at the schedule. I understand that comment, John. True, manage the game. Some say Tannehill can't manage a game. I don't agree at all, TD. Ryan does what he's told to do, which is managing the game. I wish he could call his own plays, bruh, in some situations. Me too. Me too. And he done had enough experience to I believe he can. I really do just think it's the coach is stunting him, y'all. Tannehill career yards per game is under 200. Why would a coach be aggressive and someone with that person who the coach trusts never bails him out of calls at the end? First, Pete, you keep on. I'm actually loving you because I got an answer for every one of them, it seems like. And some way say excuses. Tannehill averages under 200. Why would a coach be aggressive? The reason why his average is under 200 is because the coach ain't aggressive in the first place. Come on, man. Is it Tannehill's fault that if we have a 10-play drive, 6 of those plays were less than a yard behind the line of scrimmage, bubble screen, a 3-yard crossing route across the middle? Do y'all know that we one of the few teams that run the slot coming across for only like 3 yards instead of at least digging in for like 6 or 7? But that's Tannehill's fault, according to what you're saying, Pete. That's Tannehill's fault that he's under yards. That's Tannehill's fault. Look at running. Look at the plays he's running. Look at games like the Patriots game where we got obliterated. The man probably had 100 yards. But go look at the film. Is it Tannehill's fault that you got 3 receivers running a route and the Patriots jamming on the line and nobody, literally like nobody? Go look at the film though. You know, this ain't TD trying to stick up for Tannehill. These are common sense things. Go look at the field. Yeah, we got speed. But it don't mean nothing if you're small and getting beat up at the line and your route can't even develop. But we want to ignore all these things. We want to ignore all these things. The pocket finally give Tannehill time, but the receivers done got jammed. Now the receiver's open, but the pocket won't give him time. Do you know what this man went through in Miami. That's why I keep on bringing up Drew Brees. He would have not have been Drew Brees in Miami. We would have killed that man Hall of Fame career. I don't care what none of y'all say. You are, listen, Drew Brees would not be going to the Hall of Fame if he was playing for the Miami Dolphins. Drew Brees would have been a Big Ben status. Well, some might even argue he'll go to the Hall of Fame. I don't like that. But some of y'all will argue that he would have at least been Big Ben like. Drew Brees would not have been a Hall of Famer if he was playing for Miami. But y'all want to ignore that. Tannehill averages under 200 yards. That's easy to say, even in our most impressive wins where we're up 30-something to 10. We can be up 30-10 in the middle of the third quarter and we will run the hell out of the ball. We won't even throw no more. That's Gates for you, man. Stop running wide receiver screen passes. Wilson hurt. Gates doesn't trust Tannehill because Tannehill is a system guy. He's not a leader, bro. He's just a guy taking up $100 million. Hopefully we move on. Gates doesn't trust Tannehill because Tannehill is a system guy. It's Gates' system. And if he wasn't a system guy, Gates would not be happy. Because he wouldn't be doing what Gates wants him to do. And let me back up off of that. I'm not gonna say Gates don't trust Tannehill. Everybody has conclusions. These conclusions. Gates don't trust Tannehill, and we're making those conclusions based off of Gates' play calling. Could it be that Gates just sucks at play calling? Could it be that Gates just sucks at play calling? That's like me saying Gates don't trust Frank Gore when I'm yelling on a Sunday, run the ball. And I'm yelling, why the hell did we just throw it there? Like he could be 1st and 10 and the defense jump off sides and we 1st and 5 and we throwing the ball. When our running game is doing good. Is it fair for me to say that, Pete? Gates don't trust Frank Gore. How about that? You right then. Gates don't trust Tannehill, then he don't trust Frank Gore too. I mean, everything you're saying right now, you got to think about this stuff, Pete. We have a great run game. I know. TD, what about our tight end? I never really see stats on that position. I understand that. You see little baby glimpses here and there. Guys, a part of that also has to do with the simple fact our tight end stays in a lot to block. Go look at a game, man. Go look at a game. Our tight end stays in a lot to block. He stays in a lot to block. Because our line is depleted. We need that extra blocker. We need that extra blocker. Our line is depleted, y'all. So we don't have a lot of tight end play. But I also don't like that for scheme. But then whenever we do run the tight end out, then we get exposed we get exposed with the pass rush. They're getting to our quarterback too fast, man. P said, oh my God. Somebody said great. P says, oh my God again. D1 chosen. What up, D1, man? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. What's going on? How was aggressive? Gates' first 2 play calls when we were up by 3 was 2 play action calls. I agree, D1. We're not talking about Gates not actually. See, that's never been the question. The problem with Gates is his consistency. If D1, you must be waiting on my live stream yesterday. I sat there with like 11 minutes left in the 4th quarter. I said, y'all, one thing we haven't talked about, we got to give it up to Gates. Gates is calling a hell of a game. I said it. Gates is calling a hell of a game. But I hope, I said this before it even happened. I said, but I hope he don't start this mess, man. I hope he don't go into this conservative mode. I hope he don't start with these boo-boo calls. I just hope he don't. We weren't up by 10. We were up by, I don't know if it was 3 or 7. I don't know which order it was. I done already forgot. But we were up by 1 possession. Before we went up to 2 possessions, I say, man, Gase been calling the game. I said, this is football, man. This is what you asked for. Gase calling a good game. I hope he don't start that, man. Then we scored again. I was like, whoa! And sure enough, here come Gase. I understand what you mean about him being aggressive. Gase was aggressive out the gate. Tannehill, he had Tannehill throwing the rock out the gate. And Tannehill was completing that ball. First play of the game, y'all. Remember that strike in the middle of 3 defenders? I don't know, was it Amendola? Caught it, got hit, went down. First down. Let's go. Teddy back, baby. Y'all remember? Come on. Yeah, he was being aggressive because, unlike Pete believes, he does trust Tannehill. But then he never consistent with it. Look at the first 3 wins we got, 3-0. 2 of them games we balled out in the first half and was ghost the second half. Do y'all know in 2 of those games, we didn't score any points in the second half and still won the game because of how aggressive he was at the beginning? Come on. Y'all giving me all the ammo today. Listen, I studied this. I got all the proof because it's right in front of us. The problem is how quick we forget. Stop forgetting stuff. That way, if you don't forget stuff, you can start putting it together from a long-term standpoint. And then you got better data. You got better answers. You don't go on, like we could have, like if somebody would have did a blind study and they would have been like, I'm not going to tell you what your first 10 games were. But after the game yesterday, what is your record? What is your record after the game yesterday? Some of y'all might actually say, man, we probably 8-2 in the first 10. If Gase wasn't tripping. And then some of y'all was saying, man, if Gase did what he was doing yesterday and inconsistent, we probably 2-8. If it was a blind study. But y'all it's not a blind study. All the information is back there for you to see. Go look at the first 3 games. That'll tell you, D1. That'll tell you, D1. Look at the first 3 games, man. I'm not saying Gase ain't aggressive, but he's not consistently aggressive. He gets into this little shell in the 4th quarter. I'm up. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do in the lead. Oh my gosh, I got it. I got it. Hot potato, hot potato, hot potato in the league. Oh, you take that. That's what he does. Come on. Tannehill needs to be a leader. Okay, see, I'm just gonna keep on. I'm gonna start ethering y'all, man. I got you now. Now it's time for I gotta handle all these comments. Tannehill needs to be a leader. Can you please put in the comment section what that look like? What does that look like? He need to be a leader. Tell me what that look like.